second sentence?
I think it's the first.
Okay, so the first sentence says news media rarely cover local politics thoroughly and local political business is usually conducted secretively. That has and coming in between two independent clauses kind of sounds like just two statements of fact. Hey, let me tell you this, let me tell you that. The next sentence says these factors. Okay, the things I just told you each tend to isolate local politicians from their electorates. Is that something that you conclude on the basis of those facts, or is that just saying that these facts do this? It's just saying that they do this. So no conclusion yet, no premises yet, or no evidence. This has the effect of reducing the chance that any particular act will elicit a positive official response. These things now lead to that thing. Which in turn discourages resident participation. And that leads to something else. No conclusion here. This is just like, this thing leads to that thing leads to this thing leads to that. So when you finish reading this, if you recognize there's no conclusion, you might not be surprised when it says, which one of the following is most strongly supported by the editorial statements? What type of question is this?
Support must
Lots
be
of
true.
whispering out of fear of being incorrect or respect for your neighbor. I cannot tell. Inference. This is basically asking what must be true given what was said. This is a top-down question, right? So, what kind of answers do we want? Weak. The weaker the claim, the easier it is to be supported by the passage. Answer choice A is wrong for what word? Likely. Particular acts of residents' participation would be more likely? That would be a lot better. More likely to elicit a positive response if those politicians were less isolated from their electorate. But saying likely means what? We just saw it at the beginning of class. I realize we may have forgotten. But likely falls into what category? Most. Meaning it's a 50%, greater than 50% chance of occurring. All we know is this is a relative claim, right? Like, okay, it's going to become more likely, but it still might be very unlikely. It's just more likely than before. So dropping the word more makes this answer wrong. Sound good? It's too far, it's too strong. Okay, answer choice B. What makes this one wrong? We've also talked about this tonight. Should. The facts given to us were all just facts about how the world is, not how the world should be. So if you pick B, did anyone pick B? Anyone tempted by B? You're taking facts and you're applying your own morals to them, right? Okay, answer choice C. What's the first clue that you should run away from this answer? Most important factor. You're like, look, we were told some factors. We don't know which one is the most important. Answer choice D. This answer is strong or weak? Weak. What phrases make this answer weak?
At least.
At least one. That's really weak. More frequent is also weak because we just need a little bit more. One more. Reduce. It's not saying that more frequent thorough coverage of local politics would eliminate or get rid of. It just says reduce. Take it down a notch. It just has to take it down a little bit. At least one source of discouragement. Yes, it would reduce it. It might still be there. This is a really good answer. Answer choice E. What's wrong with this? Anyone tempted by E? Matt, do you know what makes this wrong? Corey, do you know what makes this wrong?
It's a bad contrapositive.
Kind of related to contrapositive, bad things like that. Corey, do you have any idea?
I don't think this is directly related. Like it's also an if-then, so it's more strongly worded.
Yeah, if-thens can be strong. They can be weak too. It depends on what's in the clauses. Has to do with the cause and effect. They said in the passage, which in turn discourages resident participation in local politics. This thing causes that thing. answer choice E says it's the other way around. That resident participation would cause local politicians to be less isolated. All we know is that's an effect of their isolation. We don't know that that effect could turn around and become a cause for the opposite effect. It's kind of like, so cause and effect is not necessarily the same as...
Like if smoking causes cancer, then that doesn't mean that cancer causes smoking, right?
Yeah, or less cancer
Will be
would
less smoking.
cause you to smoke less or something. Yeah. Cause and effect cannot be reversed in that way. Sound good? All right, questions on this one? Any other questions? Which answer were we most tempted by? I'm just curious. A. Oh, so I just like jumped over that because of the word likely. Are we cool with likely being a little too strong?
Yeah.
That's a big one. If you can see that, then you can get rid of the most tempting answer and then you're done. Okay.